After 40 years, God gave me a house, paid for. I have been traveling the roads, running the streets, preaching, giving God glory, and giving my life to Him for 40 years. He gave me a house. I remodeled it, finished it on May the 4th. Painted the last room in it on Saturday. I went to church, camp meeting at our place, May 6th, Monday night. Kenny Baldwin preached the house of fire. My goodness. Crazy preaching. On Tuesday night, he preached on those verses over there when Paul said he was taking them sticks and putting them in the fire. When he went and threw them sticks on the fire, a viper came out of the heat. That's where you'll find him. Where somebody's getting warm. And latched onto him, and he preached on shake him off, son, shake him off. And the whole night, he was just shaking him off. Shaking him off. Shaking him off. I go to the invitation. My phone is on vibrate. It's been vibrating for about 10 minutes. I pick it up after the service is over and standing at the pulpit, and I open up the phone in this vibrating call, and I said, hello, and it's my neighbor. She said, for God's sake, preacher, get home, your house is burning to the ground. I jump in the van, get my wife and boy that is the assistant with me. We take off to the house. I come across a bridge, and you can see my house through the trees coming across the state line out of North Augusta into Augusta. The river runs between us. And I looked, and 350 feet, we found out later, feet in the air, that thing was burning. 2 stories gone. 28 minutes. 40 years. Everything. My wife and I had to walk probably a mile because the traffic was backed up and people, they had hoses and truck and pumpers and tankers. I got up to the driveway finally, and it was just falling in. I had 2 dogs. They got out. The 2 things I wanted to stay in got out, and the things I wanted out stayed in. Isn't my life twisted? No, I was grateful. It's just falling in. It's piled up to the slab. I'm standing in the roped off, taped off street. There's 2 or 3 television stations there, and they're all wanting to know who they can stick that microphone in front of and get some kind of a depressing comment. They said, who's the owner? Who's the owner? He's fixing his tie and getting his stuff and sticking. The lady next door said, he is. I'm standing there watching 40 years and 28 minutes of my life burn to the ground. That man come up there and said, Reverend, tell us what's going through your mind right now. I said, sir, not a whole lot. I said, but I can tell you this. If your whole life, mine, yours, or anybody else here, is built on stuff, yonder it goes. He said, what are you going to do about your home? I said, she's standing right here with me. That's our house. That ain't our home. He said, what do you want to say to the viewing audience? I never have been on TV free. I never have been on there free. But he said, look in the camera and tell the people what you want to say to them. And for about 4.5 minutes, I had to catch him by his coattail as he was running off with my tape. But I looked at that crowd, I said, and this is exactly what I said. I said, tonight it was my turn. You've had yours. It's time for me to have mine. You pray for us and know this, that my life is not gone up in smoke. My hope was not in the fire. My hope kept me out of the fire. And I give God praise and glory. Can somebody give the Lord a praise right there?